If you're a fan of RPGs, JRPGs, survival games, Souls-like, roguelikes, action RPGs, really any modern game today, you are no stranger to status effects. Because at this point, it is a staple mechanic in the majority of games today. Oh, of course you're still alive, obviously. I'm not weak to that. Okay, I'm weak to that. Wow. You get it? You're going to get... Are you serious? Status effects are an integral part of game design, and the majority of everyone is familiar with how they look and function. So I'd like to focus on where we can see it being included in more games, because I've grown to appreciate the depth and variety it introduces, despite the fact that sometimes I may get bodied as a result of it. Fighting games. Yeah, I know. Fighting games usually don't have many status effects, but the amount that is in there, when it's done properly, it can introduce some really interesting features and also make for some hype moments. It also incorporates some really nice dynamics. For example, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, and Smash Bros. These are some top fighting games in which have implemented one of four or all of four of these status effects. That is, poison, a damage over time, stun. You're stuck in a dizzy animation as a result of having poor defense. Freeze may share the same effect as stun, but usually can be inflicted at any point in time. Negative edge, a unique and interesting effect. If you're playing overly defensive, refusing to engage in the opponent, you'll enter a state where your next hit or the next hit you will receive will deal more damage, if I'm not mistaken. These are some examples of status effects commonly used in most fighting games. There's one fighting game that introduces the entirety of the status mechanic. That is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Oh, there it is! Big punish! Is it enough damage? Wow! Hit it back! They're both enraged, they're both so mad! Set up! He's gonna win the round! Oh, excellent bait! Breakaway wins! Oh my god!
Due to its RPG-inspired origin, it has incorporated many status effects than just the aforementioned three I brought out earlier. It has poison, panic, fear, rage, mute, shock, charm, frozen, and many others. Some you may not be familiar with, but each character has the ability to produce a unique status effect which helps enforce their game plan, adding more substance to each move. The game has garnered a reputable score across the board, showing that it was in fact a breath of fresh air in the fighting game scene, which stands to reason that the possibility of Persona 5 Arena is highly likely and it could be in the works. But in the case that it's not, I'd like to speculate on some potential future fighting games that could benefit from a status effect mechanic rather. I'll just pretty much bring out what effects could be used within the game and how it'll manifest according to, said game's lore.
Naruto fighters.
So the status effects can be included as a system mechanic almost seamlessly, because the ninja tools, the techniques, the elemental manipulation, other abilities contained within the lore of Naruto really open up the possibilities of different kinds of status effects. I've thought of some, such as Toxic, a shameless rename of Poison, does the same thing, damage over time. Confusion, or Genjutsu, which inverts the player's controls. Their left will turn to right, and their right will turn to left. Burn. Counters deal more damage, and you can't tech grabs. But to be 100% honest, it'll either be one or the other, because both of those ailments are way too much. Rage. Increases the damage output that you can deliver, but you can't block. So you're pretty much set up for a gung-ho kind of style. Someone that comes to mind is Might Guy. That status effect seems to befit him, as he's able to open up the gate, kind of give him a soft install. Sealing, or seal, prevents special moves and meter usage, so you can't use any EX or your special abilities at that point.
Shock state.
Normal movement is disabled, but unique movement options are still available, such as a command dash or a teleport or a flight mechanic. Absorbed or absorb, which pretty much indicates that you've got your meter stolen from an opponent. And freeze, pretty much self-explanatory. You can't move. But yeah, these are just examples of what can be implemented. I'd like to say that these are actually pretty good ideas, but it's definitely inspired from Persona 4 Arena. But honestly, I'd like to see more fighting games do this. Of course, balancing characters and system mechanics accordingly. but I'm positive it'll lend to a more nuanced characters and robust gameplay. But yeah, that's it for me. I've been considering a lot of hypothetical, suggestive types of topics. I know I have only one other video than this, but I'd like to explore some more tangible concepts, like, you know, some actual games that are out, you know, exploring the mechanics and the lore of some titles I truly enjoy, you know, like this one. So yeah, tell me your favorite fighting game and or RPG. Let me know. Thanks guys, till next time. Later.